Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night CASTT. Thanks for hanging in there as we got a little late start today. Some things came up, so we appreciate you being patient if you've been hanging in there, anxiously anticipating the, I've lost my alliteration, sorry, the next session of Wanderhome we're going to do here. I was going to keep trying to go with the A's. It wasn't working for me, so.
Hey.
A, oh, I'm just going to do that. All right, Fonzie. So yes, well, get that leather jacket for me, Menachem, while I do the introduction.
I don't have one.
Uh,
But wait, I have a comb.
Oh, you have a comb? Okay. If this is your first time joining us here for CASTT or Friday Night CASTT, thank you. Welcome. It's great to have you. If you're rejoining, always a pleasure to see you again. Here on Friday Night CASTT, we like to demonstrate the therapeutic and spiritual applications of role-playing games for professionals to utilize with their own clients and in their own work. We also highlight how practice among professionals builds experience and education. And we like to explore a variety of different games and how they may be used in play and with people. We tend to focus more on the indie tabletop role-playing games. Playing Wanderhome with you tonight. You could check past sessions of Kids on Brooms. We've also played a few other things on our Gaze of our live stream as well. Some really cool and fun stuff, and some of our other streams that you could check out as we look into and explore even more games. All right, so with that, we didn't talk about who's going to do announcements today. I see my name here on this. Do you want me to just jump into announcements? I'm on a roll. I'm gonna keep going.
Keep going,
All right,
Dustin.
I made
Do it.
I made the choice there. So some quick announcements for everyone. We've been talking quite a bit about it here on our streams, but this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 23rd and 24th, Real Women of Gaming Together Con. All kinds of fun stuff planned there. Live plays, pickup games, I believe some panels. I know our very own Menachem here is going to be doing a panel on consent in gaming, right?
Yep.
Cool. So
and we'll have a virtual table there.
Yeah. If you want to come by, stop in, say hey to any of the cast crew, get more information on us, you can drop in as well. Also, I haven't been super involved with it, so I don't know everything involved, but if you'd like to check it out, realwomenofgaming.com/togethercon-2022, or just Google that and we'll drop that in the chat for you.
It's in the chat.
Thank you. And then on April 28th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, our next episode of Tabletop Transformations with Menachem and Tanya.
We actually are looking at probably having to reschedule.
Okay.
With our guest, and we will have details. It's possibly going to be pushed back a week. We're not sure yet. We have to look at what's possible. That just happened in the last couple hours that we discovered we're going to have to reconsider.
Okay.
We may go ahead without our guest. We may reschedule with our guest, with Tony.
Okay.
So
generally the fourth Tuesday of every month. Thursday, the fourth. Just making sure everybody's paying attention out there. You know? Tuesday also starts with a T. It happens sometimes.
It also ends with a Y.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it ends in day as well. So
it ends in S day.
S day, yeah, like Estee Lauder. Anyway, the fourth Tuesday. We'll fix it in post. The force. What Menachem said earlier.
The Force Thursday.
It's not even May the 4th yet, and I'm like, Force. Fourth Thursday of every month.
And also with you.
Poor Renee is so confused.
You're confused, Renee.
Yeah, I mean,
try living inside this head for a little bit.
No, thank you.
So yes,
Thursday.
Thursday. It's a week after community
Yesterday,
care.
Usually.
usually.
Except for maybe this month. But yes, Tony Vicindi is the planned guest coming up from Plus One EXP. So yeah, stay tuned to what may be happening for that. Knock on my know you'll keep us updated. So
As soon as I am.
all right, and then is this the did we
We
correct on
updated the
here?
date, yeah.
Okay, great. I heard that this got pushed back also. So on May 1st, Gaze of Our Lives will be doing their debrief section. Session. I was on a roll at the beginning.
You're so alliterative, and stop thinking about poetry.
Yes. May 1st, Gaze of Our Lives, their debrief session of Exodus, where they will be talking about the game, their experience, any thoughts as they played through. So yeah, check that out as well. And then finally, we've been talking quite a bit about quite a bit about it is the TAGS Summit coming up, the Therapeutic and Applied Geek and Gaming Summit, June 10th to 12th. If you're interested in submitting panels, like I just finished doing not too long ago, the deadline is
Do it right
tonight,
now,
the 22nd. So you might have to pause the stream if you're really excited about it. If you're better than me and can multitask, then do them both. You're sitting at the computer anyway. So I can't. I get distracted too easy.
I don't recommend that.
Tickets are on sale now. Also, the early bird price goes until the end of this month, till the end of April. I was looking at it. It looks like most of the prices go up about $25 for the tickets.
Still really affordable.
It's still quite
a 3-day
affordable.
convention. Yeah.
With CEUs also as part of it, including play therapy CEs, from what I understand. Correct? So
yeah.
Those aren't cheap, from what I hear. I'm not a play therapist, but yeah, those can be expensive to get some of those CEs. So, do it in a fun way, join a convention, and also learn something along the way. So check it out. It's 2022.tagsgg summit.
I put the link. I put the link in the chat.
CASTT.
Oh yeah, we should do that. I love the Tigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Tigger, double good.
This is TAGGS.org.
Yeah, just to be as confusing as possible.
I put the link in the
Renee,
chat. So,
I know you're out there in the chat. I don't usually do the announcements, so I'm going to blame it on Tim.
And
for Scott. Tim and Scott for not being here.
It's an ego defense right there, right? It can't be my own fault for screwing that up, so I've got to make it somebody else's. The classic
well,
George.
if Scott was here to do the announcements, you wouldn't have had to.
Yeah, I would need that smooth radio announcer voice of Scott's. All right, that's all I've got for announcements. Tennille, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Okay. So hopefully my voice is not too awful. I've been coughing, but I'm feeling good today. So I'm going to introduce the game and the game designer. So tonight we're playing Wanderhome. It's a pastoral fantasy role-playing game about traveling animal folk, the world they inhabit, and the way the seasons change. It is a game filled with grassy fields, mossy shrines, herds of chubby bumblebees, possums and sundresses, salamanders with suspenders, starry night skies, and the most beautiful sunsets you can imagine. And this was designed by Jay Dragon at Possum Creek Games. Thank you, Jay Dragon, for creating this game where loving it. We're exploring so many things about ourselves as we play. And I put the link in there for you guys. And I will go ahead.
Nebula nominated J Dragon.
And future guest on Tabletop Transformations.
Oh, that's breaking news right there for you.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
We have some good news coming about guests. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, with Jay on the show, you're gonna have so many options for really good games to play.
I think Jay wants to play Wanderhome, but we're gonna discuss it and see if we're gonna do that. But I think that's where Jay was thinking.
Ooh, I like it.
I like it. Sounds great. I will go ahead and do the summary for what happened, and you guys can feel free to chime in if I missed something or if I said something a little bit off or whatever. So while Sorrel walked off from the group to contemplate existence, the rest of the group arrived at the Lying Grape to break their fast. Esme, Ali, Nope, and a camel contemplated what family is. Esme was unsure if family could be someone that was not blood related. Suddenly, there was the appearance of dust devils, and Ali and Nope chased them, and Nope urged the rest of the group to follow. So they follow the dust devils to a hidden swimming pool, and it is there that the group plays in the water and enjoys one another's company. They meet a kangaroo and follow a path to a cave, the entrance to the city of restless dreams. There were 8 restless sleepers, and Nope spent 8 of his tokens to dance for them and help all of them find their rest. Esme supported Nope's recovery because he was incredibly exhausted after all that dancing by offering tea, berries, pastries, and soothing back rubs. And Ali had a dream about her parents that left her crying afterwards. And Esme offered emotional support. It was there that she realized that she is family to this group. Maybe not. The group makes their way out of the cave, and when they look back, the cave is gone. And in the final scene, Nope shared that his mother is always with him. And we ended at the Lying Grape with no time having passed. I don't know if there were any other details that you guys wanted to.
I spaced out, but did we say what the name of the underground place was?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
The city of restless dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Restless dreamers. Imagine that.
Yeah. Comes from the place. Yeah. Directly.
Okay, I confess, I am multitasking. I'm finishing up my application for a tags panel. Especially with my co-panelists, because I thought we had in our week. I misunderstood it.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah. You'll have to stay tuned to tags summit.org. Is it .org?
Yeah.
Laura?
Yes.
Tagsummit.org to see what sort of interesting, exciting, I believe within the next couple of weeks, hopefully you'll be able to announce a little more what to expect.
We've got some interesting keynote speakers that I cannot announce yet.
I've heard of one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe so. I'm pretty excited. I'm curious about more, to hear more. So, all right. So let's review kind of some safety tools that we're using for this game. We're using the journeying tools from Wanderhome itself to promote what we're doing here. So, and
how about we not, or how about we do, but say we not. That's one of the safety tools, isn't it?
Well, let's do this instead.
Let's do this instead.
Yeah.
Do we want to? Where to next? What do you think? Hold on. And just simply, no. So those are some things that we can say, we can use during the game. Maybe if we want to do something different or aren't comfortable for some reason. And just a quick opening meditation here as we, just before we get into our game. This is a quote from Robert Holden. Beware the destination addiction, a preoccupation with the idea that happiness is in the next place, the next job, and with the next partner. Until you give up the idea that happiness is somewhere else, it will never be where you are. So, as we think about that for just a moment, take a moment to pause. Malcolm, are you ready for me to turn it over to you to get us started here?
Yeah. So even though we're doing those something different, we might do some questions. You up for some questions?
Sure.
Yeah,
All right.
let's do it.
So we're going to bring ourselves into the magic circle of play by responding to a couple questions. And one is just comments, concerns, thoughts about today's session that we're about to have. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Why not? I was feeling pretty good until I started doing all the announcements there. So I want to make sure that I don't stumble over my words too much here. But no, I think we decided that we're going to do something a little different today, since we're still down a couple of people. So I'm excited about it. I feel a little unprepared as we create a new place, but I'm interested to learn. I feel like I haven't had much of a chance to help contribute to the places and the places that we wander to in the game and developing those. So look forward to it. And I'm missing our two other players. I was really looking forward to having the full group back today. So I was
really looking forward to playing with Kayla and playing with Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but self-care, mental health, life always comes first for the game. So it's okay. I can go next. Although you didn't popcorn.
Sounds like you already are.
I already am, so I'm doing it.
Yeah. I forget about tossing it over to someone else. Do you want me to stop?
I dare you.
I don't have the power on this Zoom call to stop anyone, really.
Okay, well, that's cool. That's right. Menachem has more of the power.
Mm-hmm.
He can just mute me. Okay.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, I would say in this moment at this time, I'm very hopeful about what we'll create, what that season will be, what that month will be, what those details will be. The first time that I experienced Wanderhome, I was really confused. There's just a lot going on, and I don't know, like my brain was just like, what is all of these options? I don't understand. But now I helped to create Cornucopia. And now that I've done it with Kayla, I feel confident in doing it again. And I think sometimes that's kind of what like having a new role-playing game is all about, is, you dive in, you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you figure it out and you're like, oh, this is easy. And so, those are the thoughts that I have. And I will popcorn it to Menachem.
Well, I am distracted, not because I'm working on a proposal for tags, because it's basically done, just chatting with my co-presenter a little bit. But my dog, a big reason we were late was my dog had a seizure just as we were getting ready to get started. And we had to clean up and process with each other about this dog's seizure. So I was helping out with that and throwing laundry and because he, left liquids behind as a result of the seizure. So I'm a little distracted and a little like, oh no, this dog can't get sick, stuff, because we already have a sick and dying dog. So we don't need two of them. Mm-hmm. This is my spouse's soul dog. So he really can't get sick. So that's where I'm at.
Well, I guess that leaves
Pass it on to you, Lara. Yeah.
I'm a little distracted because I'm very itchy still. I have had a rash for a couple weeks. My house is trying to kill me, and I am moved and exhausted and in my new home. So I'm trying to keep my energy up. But I think tonight will be good and a good chance to do that and think about things differently. Since we're going to be creating places and things instead of a whole lot of play tonight. Yeah.
Laura, I just realized, is that a She-Ra sword back there?
Yeah, it is. I got it at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019.
That's a total She-Ra sword.
So you have the power.
I do have the power.
Well, I mean,
power of Grayskull.
Yeah, if we think about it, yeah, Menachem and Laura both have the power guarding this whole street.
Well, Lara just has the power in general.
I do. I can shut it down with one click.
That's true.
Okay, thank you for not doing that, Lara. And thank you for back-ending and being our producer tonight.
Yes, thank you for
Good
that.
to about you, Lara.
It's all good. I enjoy getting to do this. Yeah.
So second question, which actually kind of nicely segues from talking about moving and talking about we're making a new place tonight. So I have half a formed question about what is the role of place in your life? Does place resonate strongly with you? Is place less important than other things like people and experience, right? What is the role of place as a concept in your life? Is that enough?
I think
in the context of the game, Wanderhome, right, is the idea of home is wandering, and so that might be useful to think about.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to think a little bit. Like, I like having like a base in some ways, a place where I know I can always be like safe and comfortable, but I very much enjoy exploring and new things and visiting new places. One of the Dalai Lama's key to happiness is to visit a new place every year, and that's something I try and live by, is exploring and seeing new places, so that the place that I call my kind of home here doesn't get old and boring or feel stale.
And for me, the place really develops the setting for the characters, like in any book. And like, if I don't have an understanding of what the environment looks like, it's very difficult for me to get locked in to a story, into a plot. I feel like we've done a great job of kind of including those pieces more in Cornucopia than we have in Crescent Sky. And I think as we went along, we started to incorporate a little bit more of Crescent Sky, but I feel like with Cornucopia, it's almost like we found like our little sweet spot there, which I think is really good. And I'm hopeful that we can continue to use that and identify those things that kind of clue in. When Kayla and I were developing Cornucopia, we just kind of randomly picked some places, and then we found some similarities in certain things. And it was those links that kind of created more of a story. And so coming to cornucopia, having this story of the slobbering god being bound and the forge and this kind of like drama thing that's going on, even if we don't dig into it, it just feels more real to me. So I guess for me, the role of the place in many ways is realism and foundation.
I was thinking about place in my life, and like I love traveling on road trips. It's my favorite way to travel, and I love just stopping in places that seem interesting or that have interesting people. So, but I also really love, this place I've built down in my basement, right, with my games and my books, and my comic books, and my work desk, and a game table and all this stuff. And I really like having this sense of place where I can go and do my work and get things done, or do nothing and just watch Star Trek.
She-Ra.
She-Ra.
She-Ra, Guardian.
But like when I think about like, what if there was a fire here? What would I save? No, there's not much of it. I would miss my Coyote and Crow book, which I haven't finished reading, right? And I would miss all these game books and stuff. But in the end, I would get the living ones out of the house first, because that place of the house isn't as important. But I do love creating spaces in places, if that makes sense. Where I love to sit, where I get to look out the window, or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I don't know if you all can hear my dog snoring, but it's hilarious. He's passed out over here snoring.
I can't hear him.
For me, I'm a person who would like to say, and I think most of the time I do think this way, that it's more people than place. I have many places that I call home, my summer camp, or my dad's house, or whatever, but it's about the people that I met there. But there is something about when I go to camp and I smell the smell of the redwoods and the sun hitting the wood, and the maple, there's a plant that smells like maple by the old dining hall there. It brings me back, and that is home, and I know that I am home. I am definitely a person for the environment. The place I am in can change my mood, can change my attitude, the way I think about things. And I am in a new place tonight, and I've only been here for 5 days. And I made a point to set up my office the way I wanted it, so I had a safe place to feel comfortable being myself, while the rest of the house is in chaos.
And this is only a temporary office too. You still set it up.
Yeah, I set it up. Just these shelves. The only thing in front of me is the bare bones electronics. Everything else is still in boxes. I have a lot of stuff.
Right, but you still set up a basic enough to make it your space.
It's my space. It feels good. The cat feels good. There's a cat tree behind my chair. She loves sleeping here. I made it feel like home, because I'm going to be spending 8 hours a day for work in here, plus streaming, plus podcasting. Mm-hmm. So this is home.
You made me think while you were talking about camp that the place is important because of the people that gather there. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I take sword classes at Forteza Fitness here with the Chicago Swordplay Guild. And the people who come there, so queer, so geeky, and I just love being there. And it's not because the place, it's the physical place, it's a cool building and all that, but it's the place where people, those people who are my community have gathered. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So the place is important because of the people who choose to be there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. Thank you for helping me get there.
Yeah. And I mean, hearing you talk, it made me think of the fact that there are like certain pieces that make me more comfortable that I hadn't realized. So I just got a brand new bed, like after years and years of having like this old mattress that it just has been absolutely insufferable. But I've struggled through it. And so we got the new bed finally. And I'm seeing my house like in a whole different way now because the sleep is so incredible and I'm so comfortable and it's just amazing. Oh, it's really interesting how like one piece of furniture can kind of like change your outlook on an entire place sometimes too. Renee says that she's avoided going to bed lately because her bed is just not comfy anymore. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for sharing, Renee.
So, yes, I hope you get a comfy bed.
Yeah, me too. You deserve it.
So now
everyone deserves a comfy bed.
Now we've answered the questions. We'll step into the magic circle by doing the name ritual. And even if we're not really playing our characters much tonight, we'll still use the character names, right? That's what we'll do.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll say our player names and the rest of the players will repeat them. And then we'll say our character names and the other players will repeat the character names to welcome the character into play. So same order.
All right. I am Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
Hello, Dustin. Good evening.
Hey, Dustin.
And tonight I'll be playing Nopi.
Hi, Nopi. I am Tennille. Good evening, everyone.
Hey,
Hello, Tennille.
Neil.
And I play Esme.
Hello,
Hey,
Esme.
May.
Hello.
My name is Menachem.
Hello,
Menachem.
Menachem.
And I am Puppy.
Hey,
Puppy.
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 And I am Lara.
Hi, Laura.
Hey, Lara.
And I am playing Esme. Or not Esme. Why am I?
No.
Just because her name's on my screen right now. Ollie.
Ollie.
Hi, Ollie.
That's the
I'd like
problem
to
with
see
back
Ollie
end.
acting. Now I want to see Ollie acting like Esme.
Oh, maybe we can do that. Maybe we
Oh
can
my
do some
goodness.
of that.
Imitating Esme.
Maybe.
And maybe Esme will imitate Ollie.
This is the
See what
problem with
happens.
doing the back ending. You have all the names up all the time in front of your face. But yes, that would be funny.
By the way, we are apparently safe and comfortable. Thank you, Renee. Oh, sorry, Tanya. That's Tanya.
That's Tanya says we're safe and comfy.
Yeah. I misread too. See, we're all doing it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
It's a
glad it's
vibe
not just me.
tonight.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.
Now we're going to create place.
Yes.
Gonna come create a place.
Create a place. So do we want to do the season and the month first to kind of, I guess, frame what a little bit of what the place would be? Or do we want to just dig into the place?
It's interesting because a place is there no matter the season.
That is true. So we can do it either way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we've always done the season first, though, right?
We didn't change seasons
The
when we.
months?
Oh, maybe we did.
I remember. We did change seasons.
Yeah, we did. We could do the season first. I don't mind. I just have to find it in the book.
So I'm on
beautiful
page 189. And we were in the season of Bright. We did Blue Meadow. And we did Devil Days.
Okay. So we can skip to anything we would like. And we will probably play through that when we get to play.
Well, we have, 2 or 3 more sessions. We want to make sure we get to chill.
We're on 8 tonight, and so
Right.
that means...
So 3 more.
Yeah.
3 more play.
10, 11... No, 4 more, because we have 12 plus debrief is 13.
I wasn't counting tonight.
Yeah. Well, no, if tonight's 8...
Oh, it's
9,
nice.
10, 11, 12.
Okay, never mind. So
We could skip. What are the different
So-
months we have?
What are people
Well-
feeling?
we're in double days. Breathe has swarming and gatling.
But swarming is lots of bugs.
Yeah.
Gatling is a short month, and it brings to a close with hot days and cool evenings.
We have the season of silt with the months of Firetop and Grasping.
Firetop is when trees are so bright and red you'd be forgiven for assuming the forest itself was on fire. Looks like there's pumpkins during that time. And grasping is cold and difficult when the leaves have fallen from the trees and the silt air becomes uncomfortably cold.
I think we should at least go to Gatling because we're talking about a little time warp,
Okay.
and maybe farther.
Ooh, Gatling's got a lot of stuff with the moon.
I really like Gatling. There's something about breathe, like breathe being a season. That's
Yeah, I
just,
kind of want to. I don't want to miss it.
it's very inviting. Yes.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance.
Every time Gatling rolls around, ask the table, "Are you rooted?" Ooh, I like that.
I like that. But we should wait for that well, we could do it now and just ask our other people when they get here, because this means we get, if we do a certain amount of things, we get a special event or whatever, a phenomenon. For
A
that
fleeting Gatling phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phenomenon. Do 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 do.
Phenomenon. Do do do. What you think, Dustin?
So,
Yes. How do you feel about Gatling?
sounds great. Let's do it.
That's
Let's
the
do
shortest
it.
month.
Okay. So we're gonna go with breathe is the season. I'm gonna fill out this spreadsheet.
And the spreadsheet. Okay, great.
Yeah, and Gatling is the month. In every time we do a month, we choose one thing of 4 that the place lacks, and everything else we have. And for Gatling, it's clear, starry skies, a constant breeze, cold, cold nights, the smell you imagine home would smell like. Huh, that ties into what I was just talking about earlier.
I
Check it.
So you want that one?
I want that one. I'm not beholden to any. No, I also like starry skies.
And I like a breeze.
So maybe we don't want cold, cold nights. Maybe they're just cold nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to hear from Dustin. I haven't
Yeah.
heard from him.
Hello.
Hello.
We've heard from Dustin.
We heard from Dustin.
I'll see myself out now. Okay.
No, you stay, please. We like having you here.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Is
So
there
we're on
anything in
page.
particular. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm looking at it.
Are you with us? Okay, 214.
Yep. So what? There were some yeses that people said that they definitely want.
The starry skies and the smell you imagine that home would smell like.
If I were to choose one that I want the cold, cold nights. I know people said maybe not that one. I don't know. I like that time of year when you have like the warm days, but then the really cool nights.
Okay. So we'll say we remove a constant breeze. Is everyone okay with that?
Just if it's cold, we don't need to have a constant breeze.
And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean there aren't breezes.
Yeah.
Just not
It's not-
constant.
They're just not constant.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Breeze.
All right, so this is how my brain works. To peek into my brain, right? Gatling is the shortest month, so I think February, and it's on page 214, which is like Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
So I just wonder if there's a theme here.
yeah. It's interesting. It's also Black History Month.
Mm-hmm. Choose 3 to 4 signs of the month found in this place, which is interesting because I think each one of us should at least get to choose one of the things then.
Since there's 4 of
Nice.
Since
us.
there's 4.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love it.
And I'll read out the options for our audience. Bonfires, rugged and practical clothes, a beautiful golden moon, buildings swallowed in vines, the first few orange leaves, sweet treats, strange subtle magics, a thin ambling fog, kids camping out in tents, a festival for a secret and mysterious god, not enough time for everything you want.
Ooh.
Or something else of your own
Or
invention.
something else, yeah. Make it up if you want.
Wow, I
It
like
sounds
so
like
many of those.
This sounds a lot like October to me. It's like a cross between...
It
But I
does.
like the idea that the months are very different from our months.
Yeah. Right. Like autumn doesn't have the shortest month in them. But here it does. And the nights can be super cold, even though it's still like late summer, early fall.
There's a couple I really like, and I'm trying to decide between the two.
Maybe one of us has the other one.
Could be. I really like bonfires and a beautiful golden moon.
I love bonfires.
Okay.
And if no one else picked it, I was going to pick it. So
So we've got bonfires.
I don't know why, but strange subtle magics jumped out to me.
Okay.
Ah, darn it. You had to have that.
All
You
right.
don't
You
know
had
why?
to have it.
What do you mean you don't know why?
I feel like we have to, right? Like,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I have to.
And I'm saying, but no, there's not a question of why. It's because it's cool and fun, and we love magic, and
Because you like to tease Esme. That's what it's about.
we love to tease Esme.
Well, I very much like in Wander, and I feel like we've been playing with it a little bit, so I like kind of making it canon out of it. That there are these kind of like the whole cave that we were just in and everything, right? That there are these kind of subtle magics within the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm having a hard time choosing between buildings swallowed in vines and a festival for a secret and mysterious god.
I mean, we could argue that we have strange, subtle magics, so we already kind of got the mysterious thing, unless you want to double down on the mysterious stuff.
I don't know. There's something that's just so beautiful to me about a building just surrounded with vines.
I like that.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with it. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so the vines, buildings swallowed in vines, and then I guess the other one, if Menachem picked bonfires, then I'm picking the giant golden moon.
Hey.
Or the big,
Nice.
a beautiful golden moon, or whatever.
Beautiful golden moon. That's gorgeous.
Why don't we make it our own a little bit? It's a beautiful giant golden moon.
Okay, it's a beautiful giant golden moon. I love it. Okay.
What's it called? Supermoon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ooh, I like it.
Ooh,
It's even bigger than a
super.
supermoon, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
man.
like I'm picturing like the full moon in this month is like bigger than any other months.
Super duper moon.
Okay. So we can ask the question for Gatling now, but we will not know whether we get the fleeting Gatling until we have our other players. The question is, are you rooted?
I mean, we could ask our audience,
Oh, that too.
but that's different because they're not the characters.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tanya has a character.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
If Tanya wants to participate, I won't be mad about it. That's for sure.
You get two votes, Menachem, because you kind of have two characters that have shown up now.
Ooh.
All the NPCs I play, I could have half a dozen votes. No, Puppy is just so not rooted and so okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just like wander home. The wandering is the home. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I would say Esme is not rooted, and she's not happy about that. She'd like to be rooted, but that's not where she's at right now.
I'm going to say a partial opposite. Nopi is not rooted, and he is okay with that. And he would tell you to chill the F out, Esme. You'll be fine.
And Ollie is most definitely not rooted, and is very adaptable to running from place to place and going and exploring. So I guess we'll find out what happens next
I'm
time.
gonna go on a limb and make a prediction.
I'm gonna make a prediction that we're gonna get the fleeting Gatling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling we will.
And I have a feeling that means we're gonna get the moon. We could do the holiday later. Moon dance.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance.
Nice.
I really like the drawing for the moon dance. If anyone has the
Ooh.
book that's watching 216, it's a really cool piece of artwork. The artwork in this book is wonderful.
Oh my goodness. Interesting. Yeah, Nopi will have fun with that one. Thanks for showing that, Nako.
Trying to get my character head out of the way. It was the wrong direction. There's a delay.
And if we get the fleeting Gatling, basically it's like the month is so short you feel like you miss it entirely, and we start with the moon dance, which is the end of the month.
Where did you find that information?
Fleeting Gatling. The month of Gatling is short.
Oh, there it is.
Sometimes so short you feel like you miss it entirely. When this phenomenon occurs, Gatling came and went when you weren't looking, and the moon dance is starting.
I mean, that fits with our time warp theme
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
We may not realize at first that it's not the beginning of Gatling.
Yeah.
So then do we want to design the holiday? The moon dance holiday?
Or do we want to wait?
I'm going to count Tanya's dang as a vote, as a effective no, I'm not rooted.
Not being rooted.
Because that's a vote for a moon dance.
Yeah, okay. Well, the moon dance, you pick 2 traditions that it doesn't have, and everything else happens. Let's see. Everyone's staying up till the sun rises.
That happens.
I agree 100%.
Bonfire burning blue.
That happens.
Ooh.
I like that. As I'm gonna veto the next one after our kids on brooms.
Yes. I was just about to say, no white robes, please.
Ethereal white robes.
No.
It does say ethereal, but yeah, I'm with you.
When I'm thinking ethereal, I'm thinking of what is I can't think of the horror movie that I'm thinking.
Well, I'm thinking of Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yes.
And what's her name?
After the last time, no white robes.
No white robes.
Yeah.
Ceremonial marriage of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Thin metal crowns. A somber and esoteric waltz.
I like that.
A quiet and caring ballet. So we have to pick one to veto.
Esme would definitely like the waltz and the ballet.
Imagine them going on at the same time and interacting with each other, and the music that would require to have a waltz and a ballet happening. Stevie Nicks, thank you, Tanya. Yeah, so let's take
Swan Princess all over again.
Either the marriage of the moon or the crowns.
Getting rid of the marriage of the moon.
But we already made the moon extra special this time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's really big. So do we want to... I was thinking then we could have the ceremonial marriage because it's already so big.
I think that, I mean, a cool idea to have it, but also like
I
we
want
have
to
a lot
marry
of
the
other things.
moon when it's really big.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to nix the marriage, yeah?
Yeah.
No, I want to marry the moon.
Now Monopoly wants to marry the moon.
I'm outvoted.
Thin metal crowns.
Oh, wait. So wait, what are we doing?
I'm just typing things out. If we are keeping the thin metal, I'm only typing the things we're keeping.
Okay.
Somber and esoteric waltz.
Wait, so no, you guys don't want to do the marriage of the moon?
Correct.
You seem to really want that, Minako.
Yeah.
I think Puppy would love it, but that we need 2 that don't happen.
Yeah, which means we could give up the thin metal crowns if we want.
I'm not compelled by that one at all.
I don't really care about the crowns.
Then I will throw in.
Yeah, let's get rid of
can
that
do
one.
The
I like it, but
ceremony.
I don't feel as strongly as Menachem does
Yeah.
about the marriage of the moon. So I'm gonna.
Puppy feels.
Puppy, well,
Puppy feels.
I'm speaking from my character here.
Okay.
well, as we talk about, there is part of your character in you also. Menachem.
Are you saying I want to marry the moon?
I don't know. My first girlfriend turned into the moon.
What?
Interesting.
You what?
My first girlfriend turned into the moon.
That Avatar?
Yes.
I thought so.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
When Sokka's like, yeah, my first girlfriend turned into the moon, and Aang's just like, that's rough, buddy.
I love it. It says here, during the moon dance, everyone can always get a token whenever you spot a constellation in the sky. Describe its shape and tell everyone what you call it. Spend a token to make a promise you never want to break and feel the dance's rhythm in your bones. I think Nopi already does that.
All the time.
I mean, this is like Nopi and Puppy's season.
That is true.
Like the 2 of us are made for this one.
Yeah.
Maybe
I never
others
even
too.
thought about it like that, but yeah, that's true.
Menachem, maybe both Puppy and Nopi can marry the moon
Ooh.
together.
I mean,
We'll be a thruple with the moon.
the moon is a big place.
It's very, very big. A lot of people can marry it.
There's lots of moon to cuddle with.
So if you've celebrated the moon dance before,
We haven't.
you choose how this place spends its time. Okay, so, and we haven't before, so we don't worry about that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we're done, I think, with the season and the holiday.
Yay!
Right. Now we have what, natures and kith and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do the natures, which we pick 3. And Dustin, the way it works, since you haven't gotten to do any of it, we can take those natures literally or figuratively. Like this example in the book is like someone wanted a swamp but didn't know how it was going to fit into the other natures, and they're like, well, what if people just get stuck here and can't leave?
Ooh.
So you could have a tower and it just means the place is really tall on a cliff or something.
Right,
Or,
right.
Like
when we had
hot.
a port. Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Like when we had a port, right? And it wasn't like for ships, it was for air balloons.
So I think we just can throw out some ideas on what, if any of these places, natures, like jump out at us. It's something we want to do.
There's a list on page 137 and descriptions in the pages to follow.
Did we do the tower at all?
I think, no. Did we? Was that in the castle? Was that? I don't remember. For the first place.
No, we've done Hillock, Port, Market, Furnace, Mirage, and Tavern. That's all we've done. Nope, no tower.
Do you want to do the tower?
Followed by a moon shadow.
You said tower, and then like I just flipped the book open, and I was on the page with tower, so it was just kind of calling to me.
Well, and we had the tower thing going on in our Kids on Brooms game, so
yeah, that's the tarot tower card is not great. Things are gonna go poorly.
Yes.
That's more the tower tumbling down.
It was a metaphor.
It was a metaphor.
A metaphor. Eliza realized that.
So the tower is a place that reaches so high up in the sky that it feels like it scrapes against the clouds. Okay. So
I'm gonna try and cut and paste.
Yes, Renee, I'm old enough to know.
So how many
But other people know
natures do
too.
We picked 3 natures total.
3 natures.
Okay.
So if there's bonfires, where are the bonfires going to be? Is what kind of question I'm thinking about.
And we can think about how all the things will blend together and make the space.
Ooh, I'm imagining for the tower there's like maybe some sort of observatory on a high point.
What?
Because like we're talking about like the moon and the sky in this point, like like the round dome like observatories.
What if the tower has a really wide top and the whole place is like the tower and the top of the tower, and that's where the bonfires happen?
I'm almost picturing it like I'm getting like some Nausicaa vibes here. I don't know why, but I'm picturing like it's an old like they would have had a telescope in this.
Oh yeah, yeah, it could definitely be an observatory in
but we're like post apocalyptical, so like that stuff's gone and it's just this kind of open space now where people feel closer to the sky and the moon maybe, and it's celebrated in that way because it's on a high, it's like on a high point up in a mountain or something maybe.
Well, there is a nature of mountain too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's considered desolate, but I was thinking that would account for the weather. The altitude would account for cold nights. Alpine altitudes. So we want to be a tower on a mountain. Is that what you're saying?
Why not? Like
we can pick the mountain as a element too. Yeah, a nature.
I mean, I just like that idea that like that's what makes it feel like it's closer to the sky, right? And it maybe this is a like kind of like a sacred place for the moon dance or something because of that.
We also get as part of each one of the natures we pick 2 aesthetic elements and 1 folklore, and I'm looking at a folklore of the tower that is the observatory of the lightning dancers. I feel like that's kind of what there's also the ghost that walks the stairs and the first of the moth towers.
So there's lightning with the moon dance.
Maybe that might be cool. Maybe, but the lightning dancers are maybe it's the observatory of the lightning dancers, but during the moon dance holiday, they have some special dance or something, or
I could imagine like Nopi's heard of this too or something, but never ever been there. Like, maybe it's almost like
we only found it by going through cornucopia.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, we could play. We could play all that out, but I could just imagine that for Nopi, that's like something that has been heard about. That he's heard about.
How do you feel about Palace? I was pretty excited about that because you get to choose who's the leader, which is really cool.
You want to try a palace tower on a mountain.
On a mountain.
On a mountain, yeah.
All right, now we can work together to make it all work. I'm just gonna do some cutting and pasting. That's why I'm not as talkative.
I like the idea that we take it less literally.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ruled by a powerful person. It's a place ruled by power. And the moon dance is like the peak of that power.
Ooh.
Or does that go contrary to what you were thinking, Tennille?
I don't think so.
Because I didn't see the next line already. Right.
Oh, okay.
Decide who claims to rule and who really rules it.
So maybe the really rules it is the power of the dancing, right?
Ooh.
Nobody rules it.
Interesting. Yeah, it says a palace is a place ruled by power. It is beautiful yet empty. When you arrive at this place, decide who claims to rule it and who really rules it.
And that powerful but empty also is rubbing me a little bit, because we just talked about this big moon festival, moon dance, where the moon being huge and the dancers. And
Well,
then
it
we
doesn't
talk
have
about
to be
empty.
beautiful yet empty. We can do what we want with it and leave off that
That's
empty
true.
piece.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm also thinking like empty could be like with maybe there's like people that travel here like this time of year it is not empty, but maybe the rest of the year it's kind of like the people that keep it up or rule it are kind of in charge of taking care of it until the next moon dance, right? Where it's this thing that's often forgot about except for when it's there. I don't know if that makes sense.
If anyone, while I'm doing cutting and pasting, if anyone wants to throw these ideas down in the notes section on the, so I don't lose those thoughts.
Did you share it with us earlier?
I can share. It's the same spreadsheet we've been using, but I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay. The only thing one thing I want to be careful of, we do palaces, the idea of hierarchies and rulers in Haeth in general feels weird to me, but.
Ooh, we got a follower.
Well, that doesn't have to exist. Just because there's a palace doesn't mean that things are what you would expect it to be. Like at a palace, it could be a different type of palace where everybody's has access to that palace, to the resources, and everyone connects and that sort of thing.
Maybe this is a moon palace. It's ruled by the moon or the night sky. Like nobody owns it, right? Like that's the power of it.
Oh.
I guess we could decide who claims to rule it. Nobody claims to rule it.
If it's something like a rotation, and it just kind of is led by who feels like they want to lead that day in that moment, but it's not something that they hold on to. Like it's all like shared collectively, but occasionally there's a person that's just like, okay, today we need to make that decision or whatever, if that needs to be made, but it's all like more collective, if that makes sense.
What is this palace like? Like I'm trying to picture, like I feel like I've got a little bit of a sense of what the tower and the mountain is somewhat, but where does the palace fit into all of this, I guess, also? I'm almost
remember,
kind of picturing...
it doesn't have to fit like it. Tennille's picturing of an actual palace, I think, but it doesn't have to be a physical palace. No. It can just be the attitude of the places that people think they rule it, but they don't, or whatever, that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's not, like it's metaphorical. It's not like an actual palace. Like now I'm trying to like imagine a little bit of what's in my head. And like, I'm thinking like, what if like the bottom of the mountain, like, guess there were like all of these gems and jewels and gold and stuff like that. And people found them and like shared them with each other. And it went into the buildings that kind of, it like decorates the buildings and it decorates the plants. And like in that way, it's a palace because there's just like these sparkling jewels that peek out that isn't monetary, but is just, I guess, more for decoration.
I'm picturing that
It's
there's
just an
like
idea.
an abandoned mine here or something, right?
Ah,
And so maybe it was like a gemstone mine or something. And we could decide maybe what that was like. You know, was there diamonds here? Or was there like rubies or emeralds here? Um, and I'm just picturing like this kind of sacred path up the mountain, this like journeying to where the tower is, and then maybe there's like these adornments along the path that are the old gems from the mine that somebody's taken out and marked like along the way so that you know on your journey and your path that you're going the right. Yeah. Like
I like that.
Karen's kind of but it's all part of the experience and something. That's like the palace, right? Like that's the whole
That's the palace.
is that like, you know, you're someplace different, someplace that's kind of
right
imbued with this power.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe it's just the beauty of it all is the power or something, you know. That's just my thought as you were describing
one of the
that.
aesthetic elements you were looking at is the winding staircase to the top.
Oh yeah, 100%. Actually, I didn't even look at what you're talking about there.
Wait, where's the winding staircase?
Is that on the tower?
It's on the tower, yeah.
Oh
On the
yeah,
tower,
sure.
okay.
I was looking at the palace's page, but yeah, that definitely that one, the winding staircase.
For the tower, we got that.
But I like that these are like all kind of intertwined in some way. Like the winding staircase is part of the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe there's actual stairs at different points, right?
Well, there's
like stone steps.
There's a place in Berkeley that I used to take the kids at the group home to watch the sunset at. That's called Indian Rock, and the steps are carved into the rock to get to the top and sit at. And they're not even, some places it's not even looking like real steps. It's just like a little dip in the rock. But yeah, I kind of like that idea of the steps. Sometimes it's actual steps carved out, and sometimes it's just like part of the stone.
I'm trying to go with you.
Like going up to the tower to the observatory, there is this actual winding staircase that's carved out of the stone. So you go like into the mountain like a cave, and there's this winding staircase that eventually goes up to the top where the observatory and the top of the tower is. Does that make sense? So like the tower is like built into the rock of the mountain. The only thing you see from the outside is the very top.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I'm still not really seeing how the palace is fitting in. And I got to say, I'm trying to go with you all here, but I really have a dislike for royal things and intrigue, you know, and I couldn't watch Game of Thrones. I just couldn't read it more because I didn't watch it. But like the idea of like having crowns and thrones is like, doesn't appeal to me to play in that kind of stuff. But if we keep metaphorizing it, which is not a word, but I think I might be able to get there, but I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough.
Well, maybe if you think of it as like the mine was there, the gems were there. Maybe it used to be a palace, and these people have taken over.
Ooh, I like that.
As like, because one of the folklores is like the crumbling dynasty of the floating mountain. So maybe the dynasty crumbled, and these these dancers have taken over and made their
Yes.
their
Yes.
space.
I love that. I love that. And that's why the palace is empty, because in a way it doesn't exist. It exists and it doesn't exist at the same time.
Isn't there don't we have some history in our game with the floating mountain or something?
I have the ring of the god of the floating mountain.
And Sorrel was trying to get to the floating mountain.
What if this is the
originally?
Or what if this has something to do with that in some way, right? We're in a mountain area now.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the aesthetic elements for the palace, we're kind of choosing something of your own invention to be like the mine. And and the crystals from the mine is one of our aesthetic elements.
Yeah.
And it sounds good.
And we can pick our own aesthetic elements because
it's a real choice right here in the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, we can always do it at whatever game we're playing.
Yep.
We can make our own choices.
Yeah.
We can always make our own choices. That is true.
Maybe there's some ruins here also. Like I'm picturing it like maybe the base of the mountain or something. Maybe somebody had control of this or something. We're saying the crumbling dynasty of the floating mountain, but it's been like lost to time, right? Like, and I don't. Maybe it's just like it doesn't. There's no set structures, but like maybe it was destroyed somehow. Maybe some of our older players would know why.
Like maybe Sorrel knows.
Radcliffe or Sorrel, we can let them, play to find out. But
yeah,
we don't have to have it, Menachem, for what you were saying. We don't have to have it hold any current like hierarchy in any ways.
How do you feel about the second aesthetic being resounding trumpets?
That could work, I guess.
I mean, there's also the colorful flags, but
yeah,
I don't know. That could play a little bit more into intrigue that we may not want to dig into as much.
Well, and if you think about it, both of those things are also things that the dancers might want to have.
Oh, yeah. Maybe the dancers are dancing to the trumpets or moving the flags.
I love the idea of the mountain path and the stairs and everywhere just being full of flags.
I was going to have the same thought also, Menachem. Yeah.
Okay. So colorful flags it is.
And I'm just thinking of like one of the traditions, if you're coming for the moon dances, you have to choose a flag as you ascend.
You can also bring one and leave one.
Bring one, leave one.
Take one, leave one. Like a little free library.
You can create your own flags.
So you could bring your own flags. You leave it at the end of the ceremony. But if you came journeying and didn't have a flag, you can borrow one that someone previously used here. And they're all just like adorning the path as you go. And whatever like calls to you, you can, it's like the penny jar. You could just take it.
Fun times with flags, just like Sheldon.
I can just see Puppy running up the path and like wrapping himself in all the flags, and then running to the next one and wrapping in it and smelling it and marveling at it.
In all different like fabrics and stuff, right? Like some people maybe use what they had when they came here in the past, but some people had like,
Esme, this one's like your feathers, feel it.
Flags made from feathers, flags made from leaves, or
maybe find silks or linen,
grass,
or
flowers.
Yeah.
Somebody brought those daisy chains back from Crescent Sky and made a flag out of it.
You've brought the palace into a metaphor that I can work with and find comfort in.
I'm glad, Menachem. I'm glad.
Awesome. So I think we've got the palace. So we need to finish the tower.
And the mountain.
And the mountain, yes.
We got a winding staircase.
Yeah, so one more for the for the tower, and then 2 aesthetic elements for the mountain, and then a folklore for the mountain. Where is the tower? Let's see.
Well, is the observatory an aesthetic element for the tower?
It can be. It's also folk. The aesthetic elements they have
Oh,
are
it's in the folklore. Never mind.
Yeah.
I saw it.
narrow, barely stable entrance. We got the winding staircase, shining light, warning of danger, roosting moths in the rafters, not enough space for all the clutter. A grieving soul responsible for keeping everything in working order. Or something else of your own invention.
Yeah.
I don't like the grieving soul.
You do or you don't?
I do.
Well, I don't. I'm just trying to, I'm having a hard
Because
time.
if we're having the
that.
dancers there, there's not just one person taking care of the place,
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe there's a self-appointed caretaker who stays there all year. What else did we talk? We talked about the dance and the fires and.
Do we want shining light, warning of danger?
The thing I was thinking with that is like we were talking about the bonfires are at the top of this, right?
And this is not a place. We're describing it, at least for this season, is not a place of danger. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously mountains.
But what
are
I'm
dangerous.
saying, like, maybe we could transform that to make it our own in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, what if an aesthetic? Go ahead.
What if there is a telescope here still? Like it's not like it's actually usable, right?
So it's a peacetime thing, right? To look at the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looking at those constellations will be easier with the telescope.
Okay.
I wonder also about what if there are fire bowls, built into the mountain throughout the area. So these bonfires also happen in these really, like Red Rock Stadium, right, where people go to concerts in the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Googling that.
I like the idea that the aesthetic element in this is that there's a telescope.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Okay.
And there should definitely be a telescope. I agree.
Yeah, so let's make that like part of our aesthetic elements, like
pretty
a telescope to study the night sky.
Okay.
It's like the only one in Haeth.
Okay, it's the only well, maybe if people have their own little telescopes, but this is the only like observatory.
Yeah.
Haeth, yeah.
That's what makes it like a special place.
Nice. I like that. Wow, we're coming up with a lot of things on our own, which is cool.
What do you mean on our own? What are we? Chopped liver?
I mean, things that are not in the book.
Oh. I was okay. Just clarifying. Thank you.
All right, and now the mountain.
The mountain.
What page is the mountain on?
183.
Yeah.
Oh, a lonely flower.
Do you want to have the lonely flower for Puppy?
Like there's, like, for what?
For Puppy.
I mean, Puppy would love it too, but just the idea that there's like single flowers growing up in weird places all along the mountain. Never more than one in one place.
It's like just a flower. There's like no greenery or anything. It's just
a stem of a flower.
And a flower.
No leaf on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there one or are there multiple instances of it?
I'm picturing that it's like I'm picturing the lonely flower is that it's just the flower and it grows by itself.
Right.
But there's multiple instances of it.
Right, because this is a long path along the mountain.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the roots grow down, but like because of where it's growing, it can only send so much up. But the thing it sends up is just the most beautiful part is the flower, right?
And there's definitely not a lot of rules here, but one rule is don't pick the lonely flowers.
Okay.
Ooh.
I like that. Because if you do, you'll kill it because there's nothing else to sustain it, right?
Yeah.
Like normally, if you have tulips, you have all the greens, which does the photosynthesis, and you cut the stem, the plant continues to nourish itself.
And these things grow up to the freaking rock, right? I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
It's like the smallest little crevice between the rocks is where they pop out of, where the roots go down. I like that. I mean, that's because I'm a plant nerd also, but
I know I can feel your plant nerdiness coming out.
Wait, didn't we pick something about houses covered in vines?
We did, yeah.
So maybe there's a little village down near the base, or is the vines? Is it in the tower where everybody lives?
Well, there may be buildings up near this tower. Maybe there's a few. Right.
I was almost imagining like this whole disc city. Like the top of the tower is a wide disc where there's a village.
Okay.
People live up there, but we could also be down at the base.
picture it more at the base myself because like maybe like the ruins of the like palace castle or whatever that's been completely decimated. The buildings have, there's like a village that's popped up around it.
I'm sure there would be, but I want people to live on the top of the tower too.
Okay. I can't deny you that, Menachem. You feel very strongly about that.
You could have like I said, there's a tower and maybe a few buildings around where people live up at top.
No, the people could live all over the mountain if they wanted to.
Yeah, right. Little spaces
What if
up along the path up the mountain too.
I'm picturing like the tower and the observatory, but it's right along the cliffs of the mountain. What if there's like a village that's like been built into the rock, like all around the tower and everything too, right?
So we know there have to be goat people in this area.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that for one of the animals that live here.
Right. Bighorn sheep goat people.
That's great.
You ever watch any videos?
That's not bad.
I'm ashamed I didn't come up with that. But like, you ever watch videos of the goats on the sides of mountains, like finding the tiniest little toehold and jumping around like they're walking on flat ground?
No.
Amazing what they can do. You should look up mountain goats.
No.
I like the little baby goats. Baby goats are so
Well, look for videos of mountain goats.
The little kids just moving around.
I like kids too.
Some of those mountain goats that can just on the littlest bit of angle, they can stand on it, and it looks like they're on the side of a vertical space.
And they look so calm. It's like, yeah, I'm just hanging out. So we have a lonely flower for aesthetic elements.
Okay, so lonely flower and then one other one. I don't know. I don't know if I want a treacherous path. Like, I don't think this is a treacherous necessarily, like...
Yeah.
To go up the mountain. And the others
we talked about these kind of carved steps.
Yeah. And a sign someone was once here, but we have people here. An even higher summit. So I guess that kind of works with, like, there's the village, right? And then there's the even higher summit where the tower is.
The other thing I was thinking, go ahead.
Or it's a snow-covered something, right? Like the tower is a little bit lower, and the summit is even higher, where it's like kind of snow-covered. bit that's farther up that's maybe not really traveled.
That could be
When
good.
you said treacherous path, a thought came to mind that yeah, there's a staircase and it's easy, but there's also this treacherous path that some people choose to take for whatever personal reasons they have, but it's not the only way up. But
I kind of like that idea. Maybe the dancers at the top have like something is different based on which path you take or something.
and we have mountain goat people, so
They can just go up the side of the mountain however they want.
yeah, they don't need a path.
They don't need a path.
It's like the people that drive up to the top of Mount Washington and then the people that like actually hike up it. It's a New Hampshire thing, I guess, but I'm an East Coaster. But
Have you ever seen those videos of people driving their 4x4s up the sides of, almost practically up the sides of a cliff?
yeah.
Okay. So we got aesthetic elements, and now we have to pick one of the folklore. The Elk King feasting beneath the hills, the North Wind God and what he taught us, where the gentle giants fought, or something else of our own invention. Nothing really pulls at me.
Yeah.
Maybe the North Wind God and what he taught us.
I'm trying to imagine what a gentle giant fight would be like.
Maybe it's a philosophical debate.
Yeah.
The North Wind God and what he taught us. I mean, it's kind of like up in a mountain in the tower. Like it could be windy up here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get to all these elements
No.
and lores anyway.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's
But
just
if something-
something
something's
to
calling.
pick from, right?
Yeah.
Let's go with that one. Maybe I like
North
that. Like
Wind God.
I'm having this idea of like, as you're climbing the mountains and the wind and like there's like the tower and maybe there's these like places where the wind like gets funneled through and maybe it makes different sounds and people believe if you listen you can hear the North Wind God.
Okay.
Teach you something.
Yeah. Along the way you learn something, right?
Well, and I suppose what's left of this place is picking the animal folk that live here and figuring out which one of us talked the least during this session.
And we also need to come up with a name, which
and a name for the place. Yeah.
I'm like doing lots of Googling, coming up with different names that I hope will pleaseth the group.
We have mountain goats.
Yes. We got goats. But yeah, basically we each get to pick a type. What else? What else would be on a mountain? Snowy owls.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Alpacas.
Alpacas.
Ooh, alpacas! Yeah!
Okay.
Yes! I love that. I love that. I love that.
And actually,
All right.
Tennille, you get to pick your animal, but I'm thinking maybe because one of our other two players are not here, they get to pick the way the small and forgotten gods
Oh, actually, yeah, I like that. I like
next
that.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had some ideas for the name for our place, and I went with vine names, but I also came up with some other names. So honeysuckle, wisteria, morning glory, clematis, Norwich, satberry, willowdale, redwick bush, Pella's wish, Sutton, Dragontail. Just some ideas, just kind of brainstorming. And of course, if we don't like any of those, we don't have to. We can see what the whole group gets together.
What was the first thing we did? We came up with the vines. Where was that? The bonfires.
It's the month.
The month, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what the lonely flowers are called also.
Ooh.
Lonely flower.
What's that?
The lonely flowers.
I feel it's got to have some sort of name. The flower has a name. Menachem, I'm also picturing or imagining that like part of the reason why the lonely, like this is the only place that these flowers grow also.
Yeah.
So that if you pick them, like you will destroy them and lose them forever.
Genocide.
Well, they never set the seeds, right? So they can't continue to grow in this space.
I'm going to go with a yak.
You want yaks up
Don't
there.
come back.
Don't talk back.
Don't talk back.
And then we'll find out what our other friends want for animals in this place. And
I'm
one
still
of
just
them
loving
gets
the
to pick small
scene
forgotten
from.
gods. Mm-hmm.
I'm just loving our scene from the past episode with the camel spinning. I really
It's
enjoyed
great.
that.
We can have more spitting with the yak. Well, actually, they do a lot of cud chewing.
So this yarmulke, this kippah that my spouse made for me, is alpaca wool.
Nice.
Oh no, Renee wants alpacas. I mean, I did say owls, and then Dustin said alpacas. So maybe there are alpacas. I don't know.
Well, there's.
Play to find out.
Now I'm just thinking of Alf also.
Alpacas.
Alpacas.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Well, then I guess it's a name we have to come up with. And then we really did spend the whole session making the place, which works.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
I don't think we've done that on stream yet, really, have we?
Just
No.
the session 0 way back in the day.
Oh,
The
okay.
session 0. Yeah.
We did our first
Yeah.
place, but this is.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to show how you make new places for this game and everything.
It is a big part of the game, since you travel a lot.
Yeah.
Well, of the names that Tennille suggested, I kind of like Pella's Wish.
I kind of do too.
I kind of like it too.
All right.
All right, it's Pella's Wish.
Yeah, nice.
Unless Menachem has any strong objections.
What
No.
do you think?
And then maybe we're like, who's Pella?
Who's Pella?
I already. That's funny. I was already thinking about who Pella is.
Mm-hmm. Of
Oh,
course,
who do you
of
think
course.
Pella is?
Pella dice.
Do All right. I think Pella's the moon.
Ooh.
Or the moon spirit.
No, the moon.
The moon.
Yes, both of them.
I wrote down a bunch
Yes,
of
and-
notes in our in the spreadsheet, but I don't know if I caught everything because I was doing a lot of
No,
other things. But if anyone wants to clean it up, so if someone wants to read a description next time or something, that'll be great.
We should have recorded this.
Maybe.
Thank you for doing that, Laura. I was looking at that.
Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Yeah. I just, those little things that we say sometimes, and I don't go back and watch these. So
I do sometimes.
occasionally,
I do.
I have a
Once in a
hard
while.
time being on a podcast and being chastised for not listening to the podcast. I have a hard time with listening to my own voice. It physically makes me cringe and I can't do it. I've learned that I can watch some of our streams and I can listen to the podcast now if I put myself at 1.25 times speed. It makes my voice just different enough that my brain just doesn't break.
I got a little sad when streaming for the streaming services which don't allow you that option.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. You can do it on Twitch if you're watching a replay.
I was trying to watch some Star Trek Next Generation and moved from Netflix to Paramount Plus. And on Paramount Plus, I can't figure out how to watch it at 1.25 speed. And Next Generation had a lot of poignant, slow moments that work better in 1.25.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to the game.
Back to the game. We've got our place. We've got our season. We've got our holiday.
Do we need any kith?
There none came up in the because you pick those, but if anyone has idea for kith, we can throw them out and make some kith. Like if someone wants to make, I don't know, one of the dancers,
A lightning dancer, yeah.
or but Pella's the moon apparently, so I don't know.
It's a thought.
It's
it
a
doesn't
good
have
idea.
to be.
But yeah, so usually the kith is just like one of the aesthetic elements of the mountain is a cautious creature hiding out of sight, and so you pick a cautious something. So
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something we can allow Kayla or Scott to pick or add if they want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Be kind of cool if there were a couple of lightning dancers that were either alpacas or snowy owls or with names. It's nice to have, I think, 1 or 2 kits just to like have that NPC to kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. No, have something to jump into. Play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm really excited about Pella's Wish.
It's gonna be a cool place.
We done good.
Alpacas.
I used to love Alf as a kid, but I don't know. I can't get behind a guy that eats cats.
He ate cats?
Yeah, he ate cats.
He did? I didn't know that.
I forgot about that.
Oh, wow. I think I really liked that show when I was younger.
Grogu,
I don't remember the shows that much
last
now.
eggs of a dying species.
I know, and I'm very angry at him for that. I swear he's the dark side.
All right. So are we done? I mean,
I think we're done.
With play.
Well, some of world building is play, right?
Yeah. I'm actually kind of excited that we spent this time putting together all of this because I'm not really sure like how we're going to end up going to that place, how that's all going to happen. And I'd love for Kayla and Scott to be here to be a part of whatever that is. Although it doesn't have to be that way. So we'll see what happens.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yes, Renee, world building is an awesome awesome part of play. There's a bunch of games that are just world building, Arium, Microscope. And then Microscope has a bunch of other games to go with it. Kingdom, Follow, Explorer.
Yeah.
So let's see, questions. Favorite moments, favorite things about tonight's session. Dustin, you are first.
Oh yes, we're back in that order. It was my first chance getting to like make a place here, so it was fun to see how it was done, and I really enjoyed just kind of the back and forth of ideas until we kind of settled on different things for this place. And
Is that it for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. I think my favorite part was being able to create like a metaphor of the palace. I don't know. I was looking through all of the different things and I saw palace and I just like gravitated toward it and I was really excited about it. So I'm glad that we could find a way to kind of make it more palatable for Menachem. But I'm also excited about it being more of a metaphor than like an actual palace. I don't know. There's something about that that's really intriguing and beautiful to me.
There were a lot of like yes and moments where someone said something and someone else went yeah, and they built on it. And we went, and then 2 minutes later we came back to an idea and built on it because someone had said something else. So that was a lot of fun, and like that ability for me to have the safety and comfort with you all to say this palace idea is rubbing me weirdly, and what can we do about that? And we did something about it.
Yeah, it was really cool that we did something about it and made it work for both of you. We still got to keep the palace and make it work. And I think it's been like my favorite part of tonight was watching how we built this together and fed off of each other and back and forth. And it's been a while since we've done world building like this together. And so it was good to do that again. I always enjoy it. It's good to see people get into it and have good ideas and make three things that don't really, I mean, a tower and a mountain, but we made the things that don't necessarily go together in a really cool way. And that's awesome to see.
And when you said the person who's talked the least kind of gets to decide like the forgotten good, it was like, who's talked the least? Because it kind of felt really balanced.
Which is good. And Scott got to pick the Forgotten Gods for Cornucopia, so maybe Kayla will get to pick for this one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So having created a place together, do you have what are your thoughts about place? How do you have any different thoughts about place right now? How did this affect the way you think about place, having created a place of lore and aesthetic elements?
Oh, I don't know. Like, whatever we make, like Wanderhome's an interesting game. I struggled with it at first, like trying to understand what it was or how to play exactly. But as we've gone and made these places and like our character, I'm just like, I want to go check this place out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanna go up into this space. So it just makes me want to explore and find new and interesting things myself, continue to follow that wanderlust, I guess.
I guess just thinking about like the palace metaphor, and I know that other places can be used as a metaphor too. I guess what I've learned or what I feel like just kind of pops on insight is that it's all in your perspective, right? It's all in your perspective. So a cardboard box could be a tower, could be a mountain, could be a palace.
A transmogrifier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Could be an observatory with a fantastic telescope. Could be whatever you want. And that's all the magic of role play, which is awesome.
I once did a little exercise game with a friend, like, what would you be doing if you weren't doing now? And a couple of my answers, like interior design and interior architecture, because I'm fascinated with how people use spaces. Right. And as we were talking about this and getting images in my mind, like when I read, I get an image of the environment and the people that I'm reading about. Right. So I was really getting really visual with this place. And I was interesting to see how I got attached to things and how I let go of some of that attachment when someone else had a different idea. But there's something just like you can work with, manipulate, not in the negative sense, but the physical environment you're in to create incredible effects. It's like it's like you go to Meow Wolf or you go to art installations or Burning Man or something, where people have taken space and place and made it magical by building it in a different way than it was. And just think so. Think about that and about place.
I was thinking about how not everything is exactly what it seems, and like every place has a history. We think about the palace is not an actual palace now. Maybe it was a palace and something happened and there's history there. The home I just moved into was built in 1943. So there's 80 years of history here. The room I'm sitting in is an office now, but it used to be a garage. And what kind of cars used to be here? And there's been several additions onto the home. And what were the things that, why did they make this decision on how they built this? And I would love to talk to people and learn why they put a bathroom somewhere that is really tiny and why they decided to close in a porch the way they did and all of those things. But like, sometimes we get that context and sometimes we don't, and we just have to move through with what information we have, and we'll see what happens when we play in this place that has a history. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So to step out of the magic circle of play and back into our daily lives, we'll do the name game ritual in reverse. We'll say our character names, but we only kind of briefly invoked tonight, but we'll say our character names and repeat them, say goodnight, and then we'll say our player names and say goodnight to the players.
I've been Nopey tonight.
Nopey.
Good night, Nopey.
Good night.
I am Dustin. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
Dustin.
Dustin.
I've been Esme.
Good night,
Night,
Esme.
Esme.
And I'm Tennille. Good night, everyone.
Pleasant dreams.
Good night, Tennille.
I got to embody Puppy.
Hey, puppy.
Bye, puppy.
And I am Menachem.
Good night, Menachem.
Good night, Malcolm.
And I have been Ollie.
Good night, Ollie.
Good night, Ollie.
And I'm Lara.
Pleasant dreams, Lara.
Pleasant dreams, Laura. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for
Everyone,
joining us
yes.
tonight as we played some creation tonight. So
Thanks for the chatting tonight. It was felt really
nice.
It was nice. It was an on pointness or I don't know. I felt connected to it tonight
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
more than usual.
And we got a new follower who just got Wanderhome and was really excited to watch us build a world. So, I love it.
Yay.
Well, welcome
come back-
H Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Come back next week and check us out as we explore. I've forgotten the name already. Pella's Wish. And hopefully, barring any unforeseen circumstances, we will have our entire crew back with us next week. And we'll get to see their reactions as they explore this place for the first time. So thank you. Make sure to check out TogetherCon this weekend if you're interested. I know a lot of people are excited about it amongst the cast crew. So we hope that you will check that out and that you will join us again next time, next Friday, 9 9:30 Eastern time. So until then, good night, everyone.
Good night.